If Mia's shown you this video, it's because she approves of it. So I'm showing her this video before anyone else sees it. If she doesn't want a discussion had, then she doesn't have to share it with anyone. So I just want to start it there, really. It's obviously getting to the point where her life is going to be at crossroads. Now, I don't want to be all preachy. Believe me, I know people get fed up with that. And I don't want to sort of see that I've done with all the answers when everybody have their own opinion on things. But I think we're just going to have to start with someone speaking. Burying her head in the sands isn't going to do Mia any good. She needs to know her options. And that's what I think it's all about, options. It's not about, like, for me personally, it's not fair on her to dictate her life. So I feel personally, she deserves the freedom. She always has deserved the freedom to have autonomy of her life. So if she decides she wants to experience something different, or if she wants to continue down whatever she's going through, and she wants to, that's all her choices. I don't hold anything against her. I'm quite ambivalent about it. As long as I know she's doing what she wants, so it's not influenced by others, it's literally what she wants, I'm good with it, you know? There's a chance that she never comes back to me, in the sense that, and there's a risk of that, but it's not really something I carry with me. As long as I know she's doing what she wants to do, I'm fine. You can see the way I am. Look, I'm fine. I'm not in competition with anyone. So, like, for instance, she could decide she wants to stay on and do college and, like, live with you. She might say that I want to experience college there. Just, maybe her friends again, for whatever reason. It may very well she gets in a relationship mid-college or after college. So that's what I'm saying. So, like, let's say the idea is she goes to college and she decides, I want to come and live with my dad now, or spend a few years, whatever she wants to do. But she might get in a relationship that sends her on a different course. So it never happens. It's like, that's fine with me, though, because she has her own life to live. Again, like I say, I'm trying my very best not to be preachy in any way, because everybody's going to have their own opinion. But I just want it very clear from the offset that I have no interest in dictating Mia's life, never have. All I've ever wanted what she wants. And I'm comfortable with that. And one of my biggest concerns is people putting pressure on her. So she has to feel the weight of other people's mental health, per se. So let's say, for instance, it's going to affect people if she chooses something they don't like. Well, I don't think that's fair to put that pressure on someone for someone to have to cope with that, because then they're keeping themselves prisoner and hostage to a situation because they're worried about other people's reactions. Now, you could look at the situation and think that I was never going to take action in her life, because we've obviously been through family court a couple of times, and you probably thought I wasn't strong enough with myself to continue. There was reasons I didn't push it further. I was always aware that come 14 years old, if she chooses to come home to me, and round about that period, she definitely would have done. I'm not saying this to hurt anybody, but there was a period of her life where it was hard for her. First of all, I wanted her to see school out. I just thought, to be honest, there's a lot of hassle that we don't know how long it's going to go on for. It would be a lot more amicable if she'd at least see school through. So that's what I thought. Let her do that. And I want her to have the best possible chance. If she, this is all hypotheticals, of course, if she chose to come to me, I wanted her to be able to at least transition peacefully, because it's not fair. The reality is, and it's something that, look, we've had conversations over the years. I don't know how much she's shared or hasn't shared, but again, it's always just about the fact that she has to take ownership of her own life. Well, either way, like, again, don't get pressure from me to come to me. I have my own things, ambitions as well, so we all have our own lives. I want the best for her. I just want, and when I say the best, it's really what she wants. But I say I don't like the idea that she has the weight of others on her life, but at the same time, I don't want her to lose connections. She doesn't have that many connections anymore, and I know that's going to upset her. I've had issues with my family, and that's me taking action against people. That's not a case of, anyone can have an opinion one way or another, but I'm all about respect and who's there when you're at your lowest. Don't have to do, I'm not going to go on a huge tangent here, but when you start really being accountable for yourself and then you start holding others accountable, you realize actually most people are self-serving, and I don't really need that in my life. People that are loyal, people that are actually supportive, I'll support them. But I'm not going to go on a tangent here. But I hold people accountable in every aspect of life, and I'm not scared to be alone. I think that's a strong place to start from. But like I say, I am concerned that she's going to get to the end of school. Let's say, for instance, she chose to come to me. I'm not saying that's the case, but let's say she did want to come to me. I'm concerned that others will get defensive, and things may get said that you may regret. And I don't. That's it. These are some of the conversations we've had. So she's aware of it, which makes her very nervous because it's about being realistic. I'm going to be totally transparent here because the way I consider everybody, I know some people are always in competition. Even if you don't say it, you may very well be. I don't live my life in competition with anyone. I'm only ever trying to be like competing with myself. So I want to be better than yesterday. I want to be the better version of myself than yesterday. I want to strive for bigger goals. I'm only ever like I have no time for any other sort of conflict with people like in that sense. I don't care. Like for someone to win is not my loss. I don't see things like that, and I know the average person does. So if it seems like I'm winning in life, I've got things going, then it means perhaps you might perceive that as a loss. That's something to work through because I don't see life like that at all. So I've never felt that I've been losing this whole period in any way. I just look at me as life and I'm just trying to do the best I can with hands that are dealt. That's literally all we're doing is getting through life. Ultimately, I want to be able to give her the tools to flourish. And it's not always going to be financial. Sometimes it's literally going to be a shoulder to lean on, words of advice. It's going to be like investing in her in terms of supporting her to flourish. So I want her to be able to enter the world fully capable. And I feel she's there. I think she's strong enough to take on the world in certain aspects. She has vulnerabilities, of course. There is a level of people pleasing that I feel she's been working on because that holds you back, Again, I'm trying not to be preachy here, but it does hold you back when you worry about other people's reactions. But like I say, I don't want it to be, let's say she did come to me, I wouldn't want people to make, like, if that happens, then you don't come, but because people get like that. Don't get reactive because you spite yourself. It's like throwing a hand grenade. It's like you're blowing up a connection for no reason because you feel hurt. That doesn't help anyone. So I just think Mia should have the choice of what she wants to do. So obviously there's a big situation coming up with the fact that, like I've already said to her, you don't have to go to college. You can do whatever you want. Absolutely. I have no problems with, I've literally have no care. And it's not like I don't care about her life. I've always wanted her to just do what she wants. So I don't have an idea in my mind of how Mia should live her life. Anything can be replaced. So for instance, let's say you don't get the grades at school. You can just do a year at college doing a course, a lower level course that will then allow you then to go and do the course you was going to do anyway. And that's the thing in life. There's always ways to pivot and adapt if you don't quite succeed. So I think pressure's unnecessary a lot of the time. So for me personally, I just want Mia to be happy. So if Mia being happy is traveling, spending her life traveling, be a traveler. If it's one day she wants to have a family of her own, have a family of your own. If you want to be financially free, like you want to be just wealthy and want to be successful, figure out ways to be successful financially if that's your dream. If you want a great career where you feel passionate about it, follow that. You want to educate yourself. Like, I genuinely, it's not like I just want her to do what she wants. I don't want pressure on her for her whole life. To be an example of what. Most people that I'm probably going preachy more than I thought I was going to be. But most people who give us directions and orders, you look at their life and it's not how most people are miserable. You can go back through generations, ancestors, family members. It's like most of them are doing things they don't want to do and they feel compelled to do it. Well, that model doesn't work then, does it? So I've always wanted Mia to just be that exception to the rule. And I want her to, and the other conversation we've had is the fact that personally, the way I've seen it is, I don't think there's, as it presently stands, I don't think there's ever a day or age that she could be where she would be able to leave peacefully. Because people are too attached to the past. Maybe she's the source of other people's sort of life, really. Because that's the thing, isn't it? Some people, like many people, have never really been challenged to cope on their own. There's a question about that. But Mia's got to be more than that, So I've always done, even I've had that conversation where I say, look, even at like 16. It's probably not going to be peaceful transition. 18, probably not. 24, probably not. 30, probably not. So effectively, if you're going to wait, this is what I say to her: if you're going to wait for the perfect time to have a different experience, it will probably never come. So you're going to have to take matters into your own hands at some point. When is she ready for that? And then again, this is all hypotheticals, of course, because like I said, anything can happen. You can get in relationships, it can send you on a different path, all sorts of experiences. It is what it is. But burying her head in the sands with the college situation coming up or whatever is happening at the end of high school isn't good for her. It's not. If for instance, let's say on my mind, I'm thinking, I wonder what's going to happen in this next summer, because that's going to be a big part of her life. And then other people are trying to preempt and plan things just to try to keep her, I don't want to say captive, but effectively that's what it is, isn't it? It's like not having a conversation with her, but just expecting the status quo to continue because it sort of fulfills something within yourself isn't really helpful to her. So I think everyone just needs to have a deep conversation here. Like instead of this video, I was going to just say to her, do you want to just try and do a video chat with us? But I just think, I'm pretty sure we're going to have different outlooks from the offset. And like, I could let everybody talk first and then I could say something after. I would hope it wouldn't ascend into anarchy and people actually listen to each other. But I personally think fundamentally we're probably going to be at different spaces. And that's why I'm not really suggesting that just yet. Because like I said, I'm more focused on what Mia wants. I don't have an expectation of her in life, you know? I've never have. I've always just wanted her to just feel her way through life and just make decisions that feel right to her, you know? There's no pressure from me. And I know there is pressure on, like, your side. I know there's pressure that's going to come because there's an expectation. I don't want to say it, but on your life, you know, not specifically for her life, but for everyone else's. Because she's such a big part of, I think that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, it's scary to consider what life would be without them. I get that. I've gone long enough without her every day. I have to adapt. You have to adapt. Life changes. Like I just said, even if she came to me, how long for? She grows up. She's going to have her own life anyway. Even if she came to me, I'll probably have less time with her than everybody else did. I had lost her childhood, you know, and it's something people are going to have to make peace with. There's going to come a day. Even if it's not her coming to me, she may go off to have a relationship with someone else, you know? She may actually get into an actual partnership. And then she'd leave anyway. So I think people just have to get comfortable with change. And the reality is, though, if it can't be amicable, it's going to be chaotic for her whole life. There may be a situation where one day she's married. She wants to get married and she's excited about it. But because there's such bitterness between both parties, because we literally cannot see sense, especially when it comes to her life, that we can't even be in the same room together. Now, I don't think we're ever going to be friends, anything like that. But I think there's got to be a point where there can at least be amicable in a moment where she should be joyful. It shouldn't always have to be arguments, bitterness, enemies. That's annoying. It's so unnecessary. But I think obviously it's about being sensible and realistic. So there's no point pretending we're going to get on. There's too much has happened in the past, I think, and there's too much that sort of we all know about each other's personalities that irritate the living shit out of each other, to be totally honest. I don't think that can really be altered. So, you know, it's just two sides of a coin, isn't it? And I think that's it. I'm on it. I'm just transparent about shit, you know? We're just two sides of a coin. And sort of me as the middle of that coin. And effectively, for me, I just want her to be the coin. And I think we all just accept whatever the hell she wants to do with her life. That's what I'm like. So I really only interfere if I think there's interference. That's the thing. So if I feel something's going on, there's pressure on her to be this and be that, that's when I sort of like start getting a bit, I've got things to say about this. If I feel Mia's just speaking from the heart, it's like literally what she wants. I won't bat an eyelid. I might tell her where there's dangers and things. Let's say she wants to go traveling and she says, she said it before, like Brazil. Brazil's dangerous as shit. So like, let's be realistic with the places you're going. That's not for me to say you can't go there, but you better do your research because you don't want to be a victim of something, you know? So it's just things like that. Be smart with things. Yeah, I don't want to make this a long drawn out video. Just really want people to have a level of accountability now as it's about to get to the serious part of her life. And I don't personally think it's for us to dictate what she chooses or what she wants. And it's like, and again, it shouldn't be, I think the biggest part is it shouldn't be taken as an attack. It may look, I'm just saying hypotheticals. I'm not suggesting this is the case at all. She very well could choose a different direction. Let's say she says she wants to come to me. There might not even be a slant on everybody else. It might be just she wants that out of experience. She's had an experience. You know, if you look at life like chapters as I do, I just see life as chapters. So I don't really reminisce too deeply about the past. I learned a lot in it, and it's like if that was a period of my life where I had to learn something, I had a specific experience. That's fine. That was that experience. There's a lot of good. There's a lot of bad. I'm now entering the next chapter. And the next chapter is going to test me, and it's going to test someone else, and it's going to be different people in it. Later on, there'll be another chapter. So there's no point going through life just repeating the same chapters, you know. So it might very well be that, let's say Mia was to come to me, that's a chapter for me and Mia to develop in each other's lives day in, day out. But also it might be a learning experience for other people to adapt their life and get and focus on it away from the fact that, you know, the parenting every day, because that day's going to come anyway, whether it's now, whether it's in 5 years, 10 years. Like I said, our life's going to evolve anyway. So it's about just going with the flow, really, and take on the challenges as they come. I've always said it. I want Mia to have connections with as many people as possible who love her. That's what we should all be striving for, you know. But my worry is, if it's just bitterness at the end of something, that connection ends. So how we treat her is going to have a direct reflection on the connection that she has with them. So I personally think you trap someone like this, and then they free themselves, they're going to be terrified to return. You know, and that's the thing. So like Mia could say, I want to go and live with my dad. I want to go, you know, have this experience. And then it may only be for a couple of years. And then she might say, I want to come back. You know, I don't know. I don't know her life, you know. But like I said, the time is coming up, though, where school's going to come to an end and she's got to pivot. And it's choices to make, isn't it? Especially, I mean, if she's got her heart set on college, like I just said, I don't really mind what she chooses. Then she's obviously got to start choosing what direction that college is. Is it like where she is now? Or is it where I am? Or where does life take us? Who knows? But it's like, there's no point sort of like planning her future when everybody's pretending that you know what I mean? It's like, let's pretend for a while and hope everything works out. That's not an answer. Because you know, that's effectively what people do, isn't it? You know, if we book her into this college, then she won't leave and she'll be here for another 2 years. It's like, well, at least have the conversation with her. If she chooses that, then that's absolutely fine, isn't it? It's like peaceful. You know, I think it's just understanding that where I come from is just about Mia. So, as long as she's doing it for her.